Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Tesla stock, let's go over the market, let's talk about what is happening today on a pretty nice day for the most part. We'll say on Tesla stock, it was up obviously a little bit more than it is right now, but nonetheless, still a pretty respectable day. So let's go over it. I'll give you my thoughts. Tomorrow's a pretty big day. Tesla delivery numbers in the morning. I think it's 8:30 or 9:30 a.m., somewhere in the morning. And of course, Liberation Day on Trump. So let's see how this goes tomorrow. But nonetheless, let's jump into it. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, if you do enjoy my technical analysis, my thoughts on the charts, and you kind of want to hear my thoughts, updates, or whatever the case may be, as the market is trading throughout the trading day. Well, I do have a YouTube membership. The link is down below for just $3 a month. You get access to my thoughts, post updates. Again, mainly on Tesla stock for the $3 tier. Sometimes I'll share updates with other stocks. Like today, I talked about DraftKings, for instance. Or for $5 a month, you get access to the second tier, which includes everything in the first tier, plus NVDA updates as the market is trading throughout the day as well. So if you're interested, link below. But jumping into a Tesla closing the day, like I said, with a pretty respectable, we'll say 3.6% outperforming the market, closing at, we'll just say for meme's sake, $269 per share. So what does this mean? Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow morning, we have delivery numbers. Obviously, at the end of the day, nobody knows how the stock is going to react to the delivery numbers. It's a pretty widely accepted consensus of them missing the estimates. That's pretty much, I think everyone expects them to miss at this point. It's kind of just like, by how much do they miss? Or, better yet, maybe somehow meet or beats with all the Model Ys they sold towards the end of the quarter. I mean, who the hell knows? Nobody knows, right? But just all we can deal with right now and all we can look at right now are the technicals, right? That's the only thing we can take a look at. So what are the technicals, at least for now, looking like, right? Leading into a big day tomorrow, which again, it's almost like a mini earnings, especially with Trump. So take what I say today with a bit of grain of salt, of course, naturally, right? But jumping into it. So MACD still bullish. RSI still looks pretty good. The daily technicals to me still look pretty solid. We're closing in between the EMAs over here, back above the 8, but still below the 21. Still pretty far away from the 50. We have yet to retest the 50. So I still wouldn't be surprised if we come up to the low 300s to retest the 50, potentially even as early as tomorrow or Thursday post delivery on Trump. That actually wouldn't surprise me, because overall, the way I'm looking at Tesla structurally, I actually think structurally it still looks pretty good. So we had obviously, at least short term, right? We still had, we had these lower lows, lower highs, right? And then obviously we set this higher low and we set a higher high, and now we arguably have set a higher low, right? This, you can make an argument that it has been a higher low, which is good. And Tesla has been showing relative strength compared to the market also the past, week or so, I would argue, right? It's, as the market has pretty much made this lower low arguably here, even though it was intraday, but lower low nonetheless, Tesla has not even come close to the lower low at 217, right? It's well above that. So that's good. Tesla has been showing strength, but the idea is the fact that the structure, at least short term, is pretty decent because we started making higher highs, higher lows, which is good. So like I said, naturally, you would expect this higher low right here into this higher high, into this higher low. What's next? I mean, until something says otherwise, you would expect, well, a higher high, which essentially would take us somewhere into this low 300s region. Now, whether or not that actually plays out, obviously hinges on tomorrow by quite a bit. But that is something to watch for, right? So let's see how that actually plays forward. So again, structurally, short term at least, for at the very least one pretty nice pump still higher. I still, as of right now, think it looks good. Like, obviously we have big unknown catalysts tomorrow, two major ones, pretty big ones, but all I can do is, based on what the data information I have today, I think it still looks pretty good. And if, we were having a normal day, essentially, I'll be very much bullish. I still am bullish. It's just, it's a little bit more questionable for sure. Looking at the 1 hour chart, same kind of idea, right? And again, another reason to also look at a structure is because we made a higher high and higher low. You can look at it, from the Fibonacci's over here, and you can see, we pretty much retraced right over to that 618 Fibonacci level, almost to perfection on that massive drop we had yesterday in the market, and Tesla has bounced off of it pretty nicely so far. The EMAs are all still cross bullish, and all in all, it's all overall still looking pretty decent, right? Like, there's a lot of things that I'm seeing on Tesla here that look good. Again, just because it looks good right now, we have major things coming out tomorrow, it can completely fall apart, right? That's the nature of it sometimes, right? When you have major catalysts like tomorrow, two major ones, obviously it's a big question mark, but structurally it looks pretty good. Nice retracement, nice higher highs, higher lows, nice follow through, nice strength, relative strength as well. all of this is looking pretty good. The weekly, in my opinion, still looks pretty all right. No real major concerns there. The monthly bounced off of major support levels, off of the 50 monthly moving average, off the trend line. Like, there's a lot of things setting up for Tesla that are good. The one thing that still needs to be fixed, I guess you can say, is overall on the daily. The actual zoomed out structure is still a bit of a problem, because even though on the shorter, more kind of micro time frame, if you will, more zoomed in over here, we are starting to make those higher highs, higher lows, which is the first step to recovery. The more zoomed out look, obviously, here is the fact that while this kind of red trend line is still technically in an overall massive downtrend, which we obviously want to break, which at the moment, if we were to touch it even sometime by the end of this week, would be somewhere around $310, right? But you never know, it could happen. Tesla stock, you never really know, right? I mean, from here up to about $310, that would be another jump of about 15%, which honestly for Tesla, especially with how volatile it is lately, going up 15% by Friday doesn't really seem that impossible for a Tesla stock, but the flip can be true, of course, as well. So those are the main things I'll be looking for, right? But like I said, the structure. So, we, on the more zoomed out time frame, we still obviously want to break above this, what's it called? Red trend line, because, you can still make an argument that this could just be an extremely, extremely large. I mean, whether you want to look at it like this, whether you want to look at it like this, whichever way you want to look at it, you can still make an argument. This is going to be this is just a very large bear flag, essentially, right? You can make that easily make that argument that this is just a very, very large bear flag. And it could be. But even if this is a very large bear flag that looks something like this, which again, it could be, right? Nice little higher lows, higher highs in a bear flag, which is usually what a bear flag looks like. That still would, in theory, mean that we should make our way higher to touch the top of the bear flag one more time, because usually it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's usually how they play out. So let's see how that goes, right? Let's see how that goes. So if we kind of, do this right here, take the Fibonacci from that swing high up here to this recent swing low, I know this looks like a million lines on the screen. It looks obnoxious as well. I agree. But you have the, we have the 0.5 level at the 292 level, which we kind of touched actually not that long ago. But I usually like these retracements to go up to about the 618, right? Which also lines up pretty perfectly with that 310. So the 310, 618 Fibonacci retracement to the upside, which would play into the bear flag theory, still is, around 310, which again lines up pretty nicely with this potential red trend line rejection. Right now, obviously this doesn't have to be a bear flag. In theory, what we can do is come up here, get rejection, maybe come down one more time, and then actually break out, and then maybe even nullify the bear flag, get above this red trend line. Like, at the end of the day, you don't really know how it's going to play out, right? Nobody really truly knows how it's going to play out, how it's going to look, what's the actual structure. But I would argue if Tesla can break above this red trend line, then this bear flag starts to show, weakness, right? It starts to show a bit of weakness, because if this is going to be a true bear flag, if this is going to be this kind of one last pump before we ultimately potentially make new lows, honestly, like 180 or something like that, which, is in the cards technically, you never know for sure, right? The bears want to defend and attack essentially if and when, of course, Tesla gets to about that 310. Again, you have the 678 Fibonacci, you have the bear flag, you have the red trend line resistance. Like, there's a lot of confluence around that kind of 310-ish range. Quite a lot of confluence. And think about this way. What will be the most surprising move for Tesla to do going into this delivery print? I think everyone and their mother right now expects Tesla's delivery numbers to be lacking. I think that's expected. But a lot of people are scared. They're scared. The market has been scary. The market has been painful. The market has, just pretty much been selling the rips and making new lows. And, Tesla going into such a massive print, especially with Liberation Day tomorrow, everyone's pretty much expecting the stock not only to miss delivery numbers, but to tank. So what if the true play for Tesla stock is instead to rally aggressively to about 310? Everyone thinks, wow, maybe the worst is priced in. Maybe it's actually good. Maybe Tesla stock is ready to rally from here aggressively, potentially too, just for it to reject right here at about 310 for that Fibonacci retracement, the red trend line, the bear flag. Everyone FOMOs in, and then it gets a massive rejection. I'm just saying that is a possibility. That's just not something to fully ignore, in my opinion, especially in a market like this. I'm still short-term bullish, but I think too many people right now are very bearish going into tomorrow. I mean, rightfully so. It is a pretty unknown catalyst, pretty unknown event. I mean, who the hell knows ultimately? But the obvious move seems to be down right now. From here, obvious move seems to be down. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people hedged into this, delivery print and Liberation Day tomorrow, just to get, eaten alive as the market rallies up very aggressively, especially Tesla, 310. Everyone FOMOs in, and that ends up being the top. And that is where the smackdown comes in. That's kind of my current theory. Now, obviously, like I said, if Tesla pretty much breaks above 310, if it breaks above this trend line, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, could be a completely different story. We could be in a completely different story here. So let's see, guys. Let's see how this actually plays out. But that's something to consider, that this is a very real possibility still. So that's probably the main thing I'm looking at right now for the next. Again, I don't know how long it'll take. Could be as early as this week. Could be maybe next week. I don't know how long it'll take, right? Maybe it'll like zigzag here a little bit longer, then come down a bit more, then zigzag, come down. Like, I don't know how long it'll take, right? Could be quick, could be not. I don't know. But that's just, something like this wouldn't fully shock me as a potential possibility for now until proven otherwise, essentially. Just keep that in mind. But I think that's the majority of what I wanted to talk about. I don't think there's too much more to cover here. Towards the end of the day, some puts came in, but nothing too crazy. A lot of calls also came in towards the last hour of the day. So pretty mixed flow throughout the day, especially going to the print. I don't think anyone actually has any idea what the hell is going to happen, to be completely honest with you. And Tesla is 20 million confirmed bullish flow. So let's see how that plays out as well. But tomorrow, big day. Let's see what the market has in store for us, especially Tesla stock. Let's see how it all plays out. And let's see. I mean, if Tesla falls out of this, potential bear flag too soon, let's say as early as tomorrow or something like that, that could potentially come down to a retest of about 220s. Worst case scenario, I still think, is about 180s, to like really worst case scenario is closer to 160s. That's assuming this falls out early and the delivery print just completely destroys the stock tomorrow. But let's see. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.